And we're back with part 2 of ISRA's GTC race at Watkins Glen. And we pick up right where we left off with me trailing Gary and going in, heading for the front straight, side by side. You know, I really love the Miata. It's easy to drive, and I guess a lot of people might dislike it because it's slow, but driving it fast really requires this level of precision that I suppose you need for all of the cars, but on the Miata, when I enter a turn, I know the exact optimal miles per hour to enter that turn at, and you know, I brake down to that particular speed, and you know, it's something you can't do in lots of the faster cars because you just can't be that accurate. You have to press on the brake the right amount of time, try to gauge it, and do your best. Alright, so I went a little bit wide there, and Gary was on my left, so he gets ahead of me again. And I don't remember exactly which lap we're on, but it looks like it's about 29 or so. And again, coming up on the straight, there's a Mustang behind us. He settles in behind Gary. We go in side by side, the Mustang to my left and behind me. And the Mustang splits us here, I believe. Does he not? No, he doesn't. Gary's not quite giving him room. Almost. Here we go. Now he feels good about it. We give him space, he goes through. And we appreciate his patience. So up through the boot, and Gary's nowhere in my mirrors because they're not set right, as I mentioned. So that puts him right to my left. There he is. Now he's peeking in. And he gets a nose in, but it's not enough. I give him enough space to go side by side through that turn, and it looks like he takes my invitation, gets a little bit more speed on the exit. But then it's my turn on the inside. Rather on the outside, I opt for going in behind him to get the inside on this turn. And sometimes it's better just to be behind. You know, both of you going slow through a turn doesn't really benefit you, but if you can get a little bit of extra speed by going in through a turn behind someone and then draft off of them down the straight, that's how you'll get the pass. And this, hopefully, I can convert into a pass. It looks like Gary is behind me at this point. Let's see if he's got more exit speed than I do, though. It doesn't look like it. I think he's still side by side. Yep, there he is, just a little bit behind me, but right there he's up alongside me. And you know, these long straights don't feel so long when you're in the Miata racing it. In the replay, I guess they can look boring, but man, check me, looking left, looking left. You know, each straight is dripping with anticipation for the next turn to come up. Alright, and here we go back into the carousel side by side. Checking again to see if Gary's there, and he is. And let's see, I'm a little bit behind him, and as usual, I will let him go ahead of me down through that turn so I can avoid taking a very outside line on that off-camber outside section. And so now we skip back down to the next lap. I think we're into the well into the 30s now. And again, you can see, I mean, I'm even getting more speed on the exit there than Gary is. So it's definitely a benefit to just let him go first. Although it can be tricky, you know, he can potentially get enough ahead of me to shut me down on that turn, but he went wide, and so I took the inside. But he's got more exit speed than I do, so I settle in behind him. Okay, and now we're back on the straight as usual, letting a couple Mustangs by on the left before our action starts as he settles in on the left and I start to pass him on the right. But not before we get to the carousel again. And once again, we're in there side by side. And next lap, I spent the rest of that lap behind him, obviously. He is definitely ahead of me on entry, but he goes way wide. I don't know if he touched the grass or not, but it wasn't optimal, and I'm able to get up alongside him. Here again, letting him go ahead so I can cut in there and catch up with him. It's tough here. It's a short straight, so it doesn't really offer the opportunity to overtake by getting better exit speed. And we have a V8 coming up behind us. We make room. He splits us in half. And we're back together again. Oh, there's a dust cloud up there, but nope, the car that made it is up there. I follow Gary on his taking the curb line. And once again, back to the straight after the S's. So at this point, we have probably 3 or 4 laps left. It looks like I might get the pass on Gary here and try to hold him behind me. Yep, I do. So I try to hold him behind me to see if I can make it through the rest of the race, but that pit spotter of mine quickly informs me that I don't have enough fuel to make the race. I calculated for the right number of laps that I thought I was going to run, but then the race ended up being about 2 laps longer. So, quickly rushing to turn off the tire change, put a 1.5 gallons in. This is the full pit stop. I haven't cut that out. And here I go, back down the pit lane. So definitely not going to catch up with Gary. And I guess he was in 6th position now. Sean crosses start finish and comes around turn 1. Alex is 0.5 seconds behind me as I exit the pits. And here I am behind Sean, catching up to him in the next lap, which is also, as you can see from that white flag, the last lap. And I'm going for the pass in the carousel. Again, Gary is the only Miata that's ahead of me, so if I can pass Sean here and keep him behind me, then I will have potentially lost no positions by taking that pit stop. But I definitely missed out on an exciting finish, an exciting last lap, because that would have been a hell of a fight with Gary. Alright, I go wide and fast. Overcooked it a little bit there, but I did keep Sean behind me. And here I am, crossing the finish in 7th for the Miatas.